In today's video, I'm gonna show you exactly what you should be doing if you never wanna get a placement in 2024. It's not like you spend thousands of hours making beats because you actually want to get people to rap on them, right? All jokes aside, sometimes it can feel overwhelming as a music producer who wants to become a professional and start getting placements and beat sales. There's a million different ways for you to reach your goal. You can start a type beat channel, you can start posting loop kits online, or you can even just get into studio sessions. But the amount of options sometimes leaves producers discouraged and stuck in analysis paralysis. So today I'm gonna flip the script and name the things you should not be doing to get placements so you can stop overthinking and have a clearer direction on where to go. First thing you wanna do if you don't wanna get placements in 2024 is to never put your music out there into the world and just let it gather dust on your hard drive. You know that beat that you put a lot of love and effort into? Well, you should keep it safe on your hard drive to protect it from the cold, harsh world, and you should never send it out because what if someone steals it or something? You hear how ridiculous that sounds? If you're trying to get placements, you should be putting your music out there into the world religiously. This applies to you if you make beats and you post them online on your type beat channel, or you make loops and you send them out to your email list, or you make kits or sound packs, like whatever. You need to stay hungry and release new content regularly and consistently because that's the process that's gonna turn your goals into reality over time. Unless you're making beats only for a hobby and pure enjoyment and not to make an actual career out of it, then you have no reason not to put your music out there. It's doing you no good just sitting on your hard drive. You can even push the music you make even farther so you can get the most out of it. Let's say you make a beat from scratch and post it on your type beat channel. You may think that's it, on to the next one, but there's some more things that you can be doing to increase its reach. You can take the loop from that beat and send it out to the producers you collaborate with so that they can make a beat and post it onto their channels or send it out to the rappers they know. You can take the MIDI from your loop and send it out to other producers who make loops. You can even take that same beat and make video content around it. Like you can make a full-length YouTube tutorial or just a quick TikTok bopping your head to it. Even if your beat doesn't do well on YouTube, you gave it more chances to turn into an actual placement because you put it out there into the world in multiple ways. Next thing you want to do if you don't want to get any placements is never collaborate or network, and if you do, make sure you're super pushy and ask every day if they got that beat placed. Trust me, producers love it when you bug them every day and ask them if they heard your loops yet or if that beat you collabed on got used. Nah, but for real, this is a big one when it comes to getting placements. Establishing connections with artists, producers, and other people in the industry is essential, especially if you want to get those major label placements. Social media makes this a lot easier. Nowadays, you don't have to live in a big music city like LA or New York to network in the industry. You can do it on your phone from anywhere in the world. This doesn't have to be 100% direct DMing dozens of rappers every day. Even just making video content is sort of a way of networking if you can use your audience that you build to work with producers you'd actually want to work with. And more importantly, once you start making those connections, it's essential that you put the work in to build and nurture those relationships properly and not just let those contacts sit and gather dust over time, like the beats on your hard drive. This means staying engaged with them either by sending beats regularly if they're an artist or loops if they're a producer so you can stay top of mind when an opportunity does come up with them. This doesn't mean being annoying and bugging them constantly by asking if they use your beat or loop yet. However, being consistent and following up on connections and opportunities is also very important. For example, the very first song that I produced that ever got a significant amount of plays or attention to me would never have happened if I didn't follow up with that rapper after sending the very first beat pack to them. I remember when I found that rapper and asked to send them beats, they were small enough to reply back and want to work with me, who was at the time an unknown producer. So I sent that first beat pack, but I didn't hear anything back from that artist for like 2 weeks. So I messaged him again after and asked him if he liked the beats that I sent. And he said that he had some stuff come up actually in his personal life and he got distracted from music and forgot to check them out, and he asked if I could send them again, which I did. And that was the beginning of that relationship. After working on some singles together, we decided to move on and start working on an EP that I mixed and mastered, and on there was some of my beats, and one of those beats went on to become a song that became his biggest song and was my first taste of success and validation as a music producer. That was a mouthful, but it was a huge confidence boost at the time, and it helped keep me motivated early on in my production career, and it was just a few years after that that I was finally able to go full-time as a producer. But if I didn't follow up with him, that song would have never happened, and potentially neither would my career. So don't make that mistake of not following up with artists. You don't have to follow up like I did either. You can just continually send them new beats regularly. If they missed a pack of yours that they wanted to use, but something came up, they got distracted, you can just send another one the next week and it'll get their attention again and it'll get them to start using your beats. The next thing you're gonna wanna do if you don't wanna get placements is to stop being a student of the game and to stop seeking out new inspiration for your music. Because you already know how to make hard beats. There's no reason to keep developing your sound and skills as a producer, like what? But seriously, developing and having a unique sound is gonna set you apart from the competition, and it's gonna wanna make artists actually seek you out specifically just to get beats from you. But that's not gonna happen if you stop studying the game and expanding your musical palette. Artists change over time just like trends, so it's important to keep up your sound so you don't become stale and stagnant. This doesn't mean you have to start making a different genre because the one you make isn't popular anymore. It just means that you should be constantly improving as a producer so you have something new and unique to bring to the table. I think it's important to always be trying new things musically and pushing your creative boundaries. It helps you find your sound and hone your craft and just makes you a better producer overall. So push yourself to learn new skills. Learn how to play an instrument like the guitar or piano, explore different genres of music than what you currently listen to find some new inspiration. You just always want to keep that creative spark lit and fresh for you. It's especially important to do this nowadays in the saturated music market of 2024. Nowadays, making hard beats just isn't enough to get major placements and see the success you want to. It's basically a prerequisite. There's tens of thousands of hours of tutorials on YouTube to produce any type of music, and music equipment and software is more affordable now than ever before, leading to the bar being lowered and the amount of music being released into the world skyrocketing. If your music doesn't sound unique and there's nothing different about you, it's gonna be almost impossible to stand out amongst all that noise. So keep your love and passion for music strong and always push yourself to be better so you can have the best chances of getting those placements you've always dreamed about. Lastly, if you never want to get a placement in 2024, then you should definitely not be persistent when it comes to submitting your music to different opportunities, because you'll definitely blow up by being a hermit that doesn't interact with the outside world at all. No, but really, if you follow the right people on social media, you can come across some crazy opportunities when you're just scrolling on your feed. These opportunities can present themselves in a lot of different ways, you know? Some of them are just as simple as a rapper posting their beat email on their story, and others are a lot bigger spectacles. Either way, if you act on them quick and often, you can often find yourself making bigger and more interesting moves in your career. For example, here's just a few cool things that have happened to me just because I acted upon an opportunity I found on social media. I was in the very first Kids Take Over beat battle judged by Benny X and Black Mass, and that was all just because I submitted my beats when they posted a public application on their Instagram story. I've connected and worked with huge industry producers behind #1 records just by emailing them after seeing they tweeted something just a few minutes prior to that. I've also worked with some of my favorite rappers before they blew up just by sending them emails after they posted their email on their Instagram story. I did all that and a lot of other things just because I was on my phone at the right place at the right time, saw an opportunity on my feed, and simply acted upon it. Most of these opportunities aren't going to change your life overnight, so you should still have some realistic expectations. But as they keep adding up and your network and catalog grows and grows, it'll turn into a snowball effect where all the pieces will come together after years of your hard work and effort. Every producer's come up story is different, but they all found their success and got the placements by finding and acting upon different opportunities that came their way. These are just a few things that you should be doing if you don't want to get any placements in 2024. If you want to know what I plan on doing this year to grow as a producer, then go ahead and click on the video on the screen right now.